the requirements of like a factory pro top level rider, it's so minute. Like the things that can make a difference, the things that will change a bike, like it's so much more of a smaller window to hit. For the average rider, like if you hear a pro saying the bike wasn't perfect this year, or it is perfect, or it is or isn't, it's probably not going to affect the average consumer. Like it's...
No, it's not. Like like we're so fussy, like we're at the top end of the sport, like the 0.2% or 0.1%, 01, nearly, like of all the riders around the world, there's some riders that are really fussy and are looking for that little edge and that comfort and that confidence so you can push that whole time like I am.
Yeah.
And then, but for the average punter that's not hitting whoops at 150 k's an hour, 160, it doesn't matter if his shock's not set up properly or not. Like if he's just cruising through them at 80 and going, shit, hold on, bros.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Like the harder you hit every bump and the more force through the bike, the more you're demanding and need from it. So the slower you hit every bump, the slower you ride. Like the bigger the window of what's acceptable.
Yeah.
Whereas the quicker you're hitting things and the more force and the more weight, it's like the smaller the window and the margin for error. And I don't think most people would really...
No, they don't. Like all the guys just doing it for fun. It'd be no different to us jumping on a wakeboard boat or something like, oh, the wake's sick, and then a pro wakeboarder coming and go, I'm not going to jump even the wake there. I couldn't even flip off that. And you're like, oh, well, you know, it's just everyone's got their own level, and where it's just like Formula One, like the top end of any sport. Even if you want to sit in an office chair, if it's not set up right for you, you're not gonna sit on it.
Like hearing Daniel Ricciardo complain about his Formula One car and then thinking, my car I drive down the street, it's not going to be any good.
Yeah.
It's just completely different.
Exactly.
Different
worlds, it's a wild one, but yeah, some of us are just fussy. You know, it's like you see it in the Supercross. You can see riders who are comfortable and not comfortable. And she's always like, I love looking at it because I can see who's struggling and not, just by watching how they're riding and what they're capable of.
You can definitely see trends when newer model bikes come out, and then the group of riders, whether they ascend or descend. And it's funny, I was listening to a Jorge Prado interview the other day, and he had some pretty choice words about the bike. He was just open and honest about it.
Oh yeah, he was real open. He was really open and honest.
Yeah,
old Prado pulled the trigger there.
He basically said the new bike, because it's a new frame, new concept, isn't quite as good as the older bike. So KTM have gone through a big remodelling with their frames for 2024. Is that something you noticed at Dakar?
Yeah, so the guys in MXGP obviously don't have that rule like the AMA do about, what's the word of it? You know, they can have the works edition and all that factory edition stuff. Yeah, the homologation.
So over there, they can change the frame, they can change the thicknesses,
they can do anything.
It's
full factory over there. So any factory team over there can have 2-3 years advanced bike to what the consumer can buy, where America's all what they race that year is what everyone can buy.
I think they have to sell at least 100 units of a bike to be able to race it.
In America.
So it can't just be a custom one of.
So that's where KTM will have their Red Bull factory edition, Husky, and GASGAS as well, the Troy Lee one. And then, Honda do their works, and Yamaha, I don't think, do one. I haven't seen, but...
I don't think so, no.
And Suzuki must have. They just keep it they just keep dominating.
Suzuki is still kickstarting.
So, so you know what? They haven't done any development for how many years, and they're still winning races.
What year
is that model based off?
What's that?
What year is that model based off?
Suzuki, I think 2016.
I reckon even before that.
Yeah.
They haven't changed.
It's kind of like you do wonder
cosmetic stuff probably till then, but before that frame and then before that, did they even change?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I rode them in 2015, and I can't say I keep up too well in Suzuki's history.
It's just crazy. Like, how many years ago is that? 16.
It is interesting though. You have to think, like, just logically, you'd have to think at some point a bike will peak. It couldn't get any better.
Yeah.
Like the frame set up, the swing arm set up,
the
suspension.
Engine.
Like, it's got to be pretty goddamn.
Yeah.
There's no new revolutionary things.
Yeah, she's wild. But KTM brought out that new frame and stuff for, what's that model? I don't even know. What is it, 22 factory edition, was it, or something? So those guys were riding it for a bit, and like Prado was pretty open about it all, and probably a little too open, I'd say. But you know, it's good for the public to sort of listen in and hear our stories like that, and for him to be open about it was a bit a bit spicy, but you probably got into a bit of trouble, I'd say. So yeah. But there's a lot of frustration as well coming from that. It's like we are right now. If you do a 14-day race, and that thing wants to buck you off for 8 hours a day for 14 days, how are you going to bite your tongue? Like, it's just like,
sure. Yeah.
It's wild. It happens in every sport, every motorsport. Some bikes aren't good in MotoGP, some cars aren't good in racing. So it's just that time. Not everyone's going to have a perfect year every year. They got to, they just listen and have the right people, regroup and build something new again and develop. It's all about the future, I say.